Netanyahu has visited Gaza. His office released video showing him congratulating soldiers. It's the first time a prime minister from Israel has been inside Gaza in nearly 20 years. OK, well, let's go and get the view now from occupied East Jerusalem. Imran Khan is there. And Imran, we're just saying there, a significant move by Benjamin Netanyahu to make this visit to Gaza. I mean, clearly this photo op was something that Netanyahu just simply couldn't miss.
That's absolutely it. He wanted to be seen in Gaza, not just in Gaza, but surrounded by Israeli military forces. He wore a flak jacket in Israeli military colours. He wore that helmet and he spoke to people. This is the first time an Israeli prime minister has been to Gaza since they disengaged in 2005. So it's a landmark visit for that. But what he said when he was there is actually worth repeating. He said, we're making every effort to return our hostages, and eventually we will return them all. We have 3 goals for this war: eliminating Hamas, returning all our hostages, and ensuring that Gaza does not become a threat to the state of Israel again. We will continue until the end, until victory. Nothing will stop us, and we're convinced that we have the power, the strength, and the will and the determination to achieve all the war's goals, and we will. Now, we've heard Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu say things like this before, but not in this location. This location in Gaza was what he wants the Israeli public to see. This is very much a message to the Israeli public, a domestic message, reiterating the fact that he is a tough prime minister and that he's the only prime minister that will be able to lead Israel out of this latest crisis and deal with Hamas in the way that he keeps talking about. This wasn't about the words. This was simply about the location and him being seen there. And it will be seen like that within Israeli society. People will look at Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and say to themselves, wow, our Prime Minister is there, things must be going well. And that's the message he wants to be delivered.
And in terms of controlling the narrative, Imran, the Israeli government has been keen to control precisely that, scenes of celebration around the release of Palestinian prisoners. What are their concerns?
Well, there's only really one person that's driving all of this. It's the National Security Minister, Itamar Ben-Gvir. Now, he is uncompromising when it comes to the Palestinians. He simply doesn't have a decent word to say about any of them. His public statements are openly racist, and he's been like this for a very long time. He's worried that the Palestinians, particularly here in occupied East Jerusalem, remember, he controls the police force, so he's able to have a lot more say on what the police do here in occupied East Jerusalem. He said to them that celebrations need to be cracked down upon and that any celebrations are tantamount to supporting terrorism. Now, seemingly that has actually happened here in occupied East Jerusalem. Al Jazeera has been speaking to families here. They've shared their concerns. They're worried if they speak to the media, is that being seen as celebrating a release? And that's something that they're worried about. But he also said that he wanted the army who control the occupied West Bank to do the same in those territories. That really hasn't happened. You saw my colleague Nidar there speaking to people who have just been released from prison. They are there. They're saying that, look, people are out. So there seems to be a disconnect between what he can do here in occupied East Jerusalem, because he is nominally in charge of the police force, but he's not in charge of the army in the occupied West Bank, and they seem to be ignoring a large part of what he's saying. Although you did see those pictures there, there is certainly a crackdown taking place on the Palestinians in the occupied West Bank.
Yeah, there is indeed plumes of tear gas at the Baytuna crossing there. Imran Khan, many thanks for the update. Imran Khan in occupied East Jerusalem.